government stance on Kashmir is absolutely clear. It was our jugular vein. It is our jugular vein.
General Asim Munir delivered this speech days before Pahalgam attack. Everyone knows Pakistan sponsors terrorism in Kashmir, but no one tells there is a named, structured, documented covert operations going on for decades. And it flows past the Kashmir Valley, deepening into every state, causing bloodshed without picking up a gun. By the end of this video, you will understand exactly how this operation was built, how it is funded, and why decades later, its funding is still going on. In 1971, Pakistan lost East Pakistan, which became Bangladesh. 93,000 soldiers surrendered in just 13 days. Zia-ul-Haq realized that conventional war is unwinnable, but by bleeding India with proxies, internal sabotage and internal pressure, they can win, which came to be known as Thousand Cuts Doctrine. Punjab became their first testing ground. In the 1980s, ISI backed the Khalistani insurgency in Punjab to destabilize India, which led to years of violence. It triggered major events like Operation Blue Star, but failed to break India's control over Punjab. In 1988 came Operation Tupac, adopted from Afghani jihadi playbook. This time, they went north. But Kashmir faced a problem. Kashmiri Pandits' existence and patriotism to India were an obstacle to their mission.
हम देखेंगे कश्मीर को हम छोड़ेंगे नहीं। क्यों छोड़ेंगे कश्मीर को? वो हमारा खून है, हमारी मातृभूमि है। क्यों छोड़ेंगे? जो वहाँ पर पाकिस्तान मांगे हम उसको उठा के पाकिस्तान में फेंक देंगे। मगर पाकिस्तान वहाँ पर बनने नहीं देंगे।
So, a demographic shift was needed. From 1980 to 1990, anti-Pandit sentiment was instilled, spreading hatred through Maulvis in mosques and Muslim gatherings. In 1986, tensions rose when Ghulam Muhammad Shah announced the construction of a mosque on a historic Hindu temple site, which Kashmiri Pandits opposed. Violence erupted against Hindus. Temples were desecrated, homes of Pandits were looted and attacked.
Other parts of the country have gone and taken positions in mosques in the valley.
This led to the first large-scale exodus of Kashmiri Pandits in 1990. 300,000 Kashmiri Pandits were forced to leave. Official records list 219 deaths and over 1,200 unofficial deaths by 2004. Removing the Pandits made it easier to portray Kashmir as a purely Muslim political struggle against India.
तुम्हें लगता है कि वापस जाओगी तुम कभी वहाँ पे? हाँ। मन करता है वापस जाने का? क्या कहते हैं मम्मी पापा, क्या कहते हैं कि वापस जा पाओगी वहाँ पे?
नहीं।
क्या कहते हैं कभी नहीं जाएंगे वहाँ?
But this narrative didn't spread on its own. Behind the scenes, Operation Tupac was taking a larger shape with backing from Washington and Afghanistan, bringing in money, fighters, and the missionary to keep it alive. From 1996 onward, Afghan jihad veterans were redirected into Kashmir. They brought a key system to direct Washington's money. Let me explain this system to you. The US would send money to an Afghani businessman who was involved in Soviet jihad and often based in Dubai. The Afghani businessman would contact an Afghani broker and send him the money and receive a secret code in return. Then that businessman would privately contact the Pakistani ISI and share him the code. Afghani broker would then contact a partner in Pakistan and share the transaction details and the code. The ISI would go to the partner broker in Pakistan, provide the code and collect the money in local currency. The Afghani broker and the partner broker would keep records of the transaction and settle their balance later through future deals. This system is called Hawala networks. And this is how money was directed to Kashmir extremism right under the US nose. In 1999, Indian Airlines Flight 814 hijacking and Masood Azhar's release became another turning point.
एक नहीं है, ये दो नहीं है, ये 100 नहीं है, ये 300 नहीं है, ये 1000 नहीं है। तादाद बता दूं तो कल दुनिया के मीडिया पर शोर मच जाएगा। ये चलेंगे इंशाल्लाह, ये जाएंगे इंशाल्लाह, इनका रब इनको कबूल करेगा इंशाल्लाह।
Around this period, ISI took full operational control of Lashkar-e-Taiba and Jaish-e-Mohammed, sidelining the local militants. During the same time, Musharraf, a convicted criminal by a Pakistani court, openly exposed being the biggest supporter of Lashkar-e-Taiba and stated he was liked by the militant group. By early 2000s, Indian politicians were meeting ISI-linked handlers abroad, with money reportedly flowing into elections, actively using the Hawala network and weapons being transported through political vehicles. By 2004 to 5, Pakistani funds were now reaching Indian journalists, politicians and clerics. After the abrogation of Article 370, ISI reportedly told operatives to pose as Hindu supporters, join BJP and work secretly from inside, because now Pakistan is starting to learn narrative control is a far more potent weapon than firearms. $250 to $300 million flows annually into Kashmir. Only 20% of it goes to terrorism, and 80% is spent on cultivating journalists, academics, civil society, religious leaders, and NGOs to support militant and influence-related activities. From late 2010s to early 2020s, an estimated 450 crores is being covertly moved through Hawala networks to fund influence campaigns.
Pakistan funneling hundreds of crores to the Hurriyat to plunge Jammu and Kashmir.
A 2017 undercover report by India Today allegedly showed that Pakistan's ISI financed the protests that followed Burhan Wani's death in 2016. Prominent Kashmiri media outlets like Kashmir Media Service are reportedly funded by Pakistan to bias their reporting. In 2021, Jammu and Kashmir police arrested journalists who were in direct contact with TRF operatives, with their phone data reaching Pakistan, Middle East, Afghanistan, Russia, and Europe. Investigators claim that the trail led to Sajjad Gul, a suspected Lashkar operative, running the Kashmir Fight blog, functioning as a digital target list, publishing names of individuals as traitors who subsequently became victims of targeted killing. With its Kashmir narrative struggling for wider acceptance, Pakistan leaned on Turkey, and suddenly media platforms like TRT World and Anadolu Agency started broadcasting this. Reports say many Pakistani and Indian Kashmiri journalists who have been hired by TRT World without credentials are pushing anti-India coverage. The same pattern appears in scholarship and political outreach. Turkey lures Kashmiri students with scholarships only for some to be handed to Pakistan-backed networks to push propaganda. Erdogan, Turkey's president, repeatedly drags Kashmir at UN to rally Muslims and back Pakistan's narrative. Despite India's firm rejection, Turkey and Pakistanis officially co-hosted a UN event on combating hate speech to coordinate anti-India messaging under the cover of a neutral international platform. Turkey taught Pakistan a lesson that a narrative needs repetition to be effective. Truth is optional. Scholarship form and a Wi-Fi connection became core tool to the newest phase of Operation Tupac. Pakistan offers a quota of MBBS seats meant for underprivileged Kashmiri students and victims of conflict. However, getting a seat requires a recommendation letter controlled by Hurriyat leaders. Instead of helping the needy, these leaders sell the letters to wealthy families for 20 to 25 lakh, and that money is used to fund terror activities actively. This is the medical seat pipeline that turns scholarship into a network of money and influence. ISI handlers guide students in Pakistan who bring cash back on vacation that is controlled by local terror networks. Between 2015 and 2018, 28 of 40 students who went to Pakistan on valid visas returned as trained terrorists, while another 100 never returned or disappeared, believed to be operating within terror groups in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. When physical channels became riskier, operation moved on digital space. While anonymous accounts and groups on X posed as Indians to stir caste tensions, regional identities, Khalistan messaging, all amplified in a ways that looked spontaneous but often follow a familiar direction. It began as a revenge for 1971, but the final Operation Tupac is not just terror, war, or even propaganda. It's about how much you are unknowingly helping to spread it.